FGV Holdings and Lembaga Tabung Haji are said to be considering to sell plantation assets in Indonesia to improve their financial position. Citing people with knowledge of the matter, Bloomberg reports the two government-linked entities are working with an advisor to gauge potential buyer interest in loss-making Trurich resources. FGV and LTH jointly bought Trurich for 600 million ringgit in 2009 and assumed debts of over 700 million ringgit. According to Bloomberg's sources, they may seek to value Trurich at up to $1 billion including debt. Putrajaya has signed two contracts worth a combined 2.17 billion ringgit with Bombardier Harta Suma Consortium. The consortium will be supplying 27 new train sets and refurbishing existing two-car train sets for the Kelana Jaya Line LRT. Finance Minister Lim Guan Eng says the first delivery of the new train sets will take place in the first quarter of next year. The remaining sets will be delivered across the next 5 years. The contract for the new train sets amounts to 1.7 billion ringgit. Lim says BHC has committed to maximise the usage of local content to at least 35%, estimated at 600 million ringgit. Meanwhile, the refurbishment comes with a contract value of 473 million ringgit, spread over a 3-year period to upgrade the existing two-car train sets to 4-car train sets. Lim says BHC has agreed to extend the existing local supplier database in rolling stock by using components and services offered by 14 local companies valued at 100.7 million ringgit. Pharmaniaga is confident that its existing concession with the Ministry of Health will be renewed based on the pharmaceutical giant's performance. Its managing director, Datuk Farshila Emran, says the group believes in its capabilities and capacity. She also stressed that Pharmaniaga is not a monopoly, explaining that while 53% of its revenue comes from the concessions, only 33% or 1.1 billion ringgit of MOH's pharmaceutical purchases are from the company. Pharmaniaga's existing 10-year concession with the ministry ends in November 2019. Earlier this month, Pharmaniaga was flagged by the Cabinet Committee on Market Monopolies. MOH has, however, denied that the company is monopolising the pharmaceutical supplies to government hospitals, as there are also other vendors supplying directly to all public health facilities. It's also clarified that the outsourcing of pharmaceutical products is done via a tendering process. Axiata Group could swing to a loss in FY19, depending on the outcome of the appeal of its unit against the Nepal Supreme Court's order of outstanding capital gains tax, totaling 1.45 billion ringgit. AM Investment Bank Research said in a note today that given the baffling court verdict, it is uncertain of the likelihood of success for Axiata's 80% owned Ncell's appeal amid the local political and regulatory regime. The research house warns that the telco's FY19 net debt to EBITDA could rise to 1.7 times from 1.6 times, and that its FY19 net profit of 1.3 billion ringgit could reverse to a loss of 200 million ringgit. Additionally, AM Investment says the government's intention to cut Khazanah National's holdings in GLCs currently casts shadows of a share overhang. It kept its hold call on Axiata with a fair value of 3.86 ringgit per share, 1 cent shy of the stock's closing price of 3.87 ringgit. Nestlé Malaysia says its first quarter net profit rose 1.7% to 235.2 million ringgit on the back of lower operating expenses. Revenue for the quarter rose 1.6% to 1.45 billion ringgit. Nestlé Malaysia CEO Wan Aranols says the group's revenue was driven by robust domestic sales of 4.9% for the quarter, fueled by strong sales momentum during the Chinese New Year festive period. On prospects, Aranols says the group is encouraged by the solid start to the year, although it still sees some pressure on commodities and fluctuating consumer sentiment. The group is optimistic that it will be able to sustain this momentum in the year ahead, given the robust plans it has in place to deliver sustainable and profitable growth.